Unless you sell your soul and become an agent of the Matrix, you are eventually going to be destroyed and removed. They do not want anything and anyone to have influence that they do not control.
They tried to make me a brokey. They destroyed everything, took my bank accounts, took millions and millions of dollars, all these things. They tried to stop me.
Hey, did you get the update? Top G's back, and it's better than ever. You really shouldn't miss out on the revamped version of Andrew Tate.
They're trying to set a trap, trying to find new ammo. That's what the Matrix has been doing against me for a very long time. I want everyone at home to understand something. I know I'm the one who's been living this reality. You guys have been tuning in for the show, but I got canceled nearly 2 months ago now, and I've been living this reality. I've been dealing with the consequences of being canceled en masse. I've been dealing with the consequences of reporters contacting everyone who's ever known me, trying to get stories about me that don't exist, people trying to lie about me, people being bribed and offered huge amounts of money to tell stories that aren't real. I've managed to contain and control it all. Every single interview is a trap. Every single Matrix-led opportunity is a trap, all of it.
Even though he was in prison, he managed to take the world by storm. You're going to find out exactly why in this video.
Unless you sell your soul and become an agent of the Matrix, you are eventually going to be destroyed and removed. They do not want anything and anyone to have influence that they do not control. That's why they try to get rid of us. Because we have influence, we influence the masses, lots of people know who we are, people respect us and respect our opinion, and when they came to us and tried to make us sell our souls, we said fucking no. We won't say things we don't believe in. We won't sell shit to fucking kids. We won't be a sellout. And as soon as you won't be a sellout, they want you to go.
Stone cold prison food in the most horrible environment to live in, a Romanian prison cell could never turn Top G into a tiny man, which is because he knows what it takes to be bigger than your enemies and more truthful than the lies surrounding you.
I want to just make it clear. The reason the Matrix has such control is because of the monumental cowardice which plagues man. And when I see men being cowards because they're scared of a little bit of bad publicity, it's extremely distasteful. I look at them with disdain. Do not be a fucking weakling. Do not be scared. If you believe I have things worth saying and you want to have a conversation with me, whether you agree with me or want to challenge my ideas, you should do it.
I understand something very well, and trust me, I've just lived through the biggest attack the Matrix possibly has. Wars need money. When you're attacked, you need money. If I was a brokey, this would all be over for me. They tried to make me a brokey. They destroyed everything, took my bank accounts, took millions and millions of dollars, all these things. They tried to stop me. If I was a brokey, I'd have to shut up. They try and keep you broke on purpose so that you're not allowed an opinion, because if you have an opinion, you can fight back, you can speak up. That's why I say to my fans, you guys are the good people, you're the resistance. You people need to have as much money as possible. That's why I refuse to allow you to get scammed. That's why I refuse to sell you bullshit. I'm sitting here saying, no, I'm going to teach you how to make money, and I want you to be strong. I want you to be smart, physically, financially, and mentally. I want you to have every single weapon because you're on my side in the fight. And that's also why they attacked Hustlers University.
Listen to this. The Matrix has taken football and is now using it as a vehicle to damage the morality of humanity. If you still watch football and support that mechanism, even if you don't support how that mechanism is being used, you are supporting the Matrix in their attacks against morality. It's unfortunate. You can no longer just be a casual football fan and say, well, I just watch football. I don't care about any of that stuff they're talking about. No, sir. Because by watching football, you are making sure the football leagues are funded. By watching football, you're making sure there's interest in the football league, which gives the football league power. And that power is now being used irresponsibly, and it's now being used under the name of degeneracy. So now you have to make a decision as a casual football fan. Do I want to be a casual football fan and help aid the Matrix in its agenda in damaging the morality of the human race? Or do I want to stop caring about football? So I implore any of you who still seem to give a shit. For some reason, you are obsessed with the idea of a man putting a ball in a net. I implore you to absolutely not stop caring, because the sooner everyone stops watching this shit, the sooner it can be used as a tool of the Matrix to try and force degeneracy down our fucking throats.
Imagine having, I'm going to say it again because I said it once, I'm going to say it again. Imagine having a strong emotional response to a subject, but you don't understand why. When somebody mentions a subject and you're like, no, and you're angry and they ask you why, and you can't say why in any kind of coherent way, if you can't substantiate your emotion in any regard, you have been completely programmed by the Matrix. That is, that they control your emotions and you don't even know why. That is absolutely and utterly slave-minded. It's crazy.
Anything that is large and influential, which is controlled by the Matrix, will eventually be weaponized against you. What does Morpheus say? Anybody who is not unplugged can become an agent at any time. You have football, traditionally a masculine sport by traditionally masculine men, and it's traditionally been a man's world where men do masculine things, go into the football game, etc. Because it is controlled by the Matrix, the money is controlled by the Matrix, the TV shows, the TV programs which show the games is controlled by the Matrix. Because it's still controlled by the Matrix, eventually they will take it and they will weaponize it against you. If I was a football fan, I'd be furious. Haven't you seen in real time how they've weaponized one of the last masculine pastimes of the Western world, and they're now using it to force an agenda that you don't care about? Most football fans don't care about this crap,
Nor
right?
should they.
Why would they? But they've got the players under contract, and the players pretend to give a shit because they're cucked. The TV channels say, if you want our money to show your games, you better cuck, and everyone cucks out left, right, and center. Anything that is controlled by the Matrix will eventually be weaponized and used against you, which is why it's so important you have entities outside of the Matrix.
They don't want you strong. They want you weak. And that's why they're promoting this veganism garbage. Every single thing that the Matrix purports, every single thing that the Matrix is telling you to do is designed to make you weaker and easier to program. They are trying to make your mind empty. You must resist the slave mind. So next thing I want to talk about quickly while we're here is we're talking about degeneracy. And a lot of people misunderstand me, right? The people who are inside the Matrix are convinced that I'm anti-women, which is nothing. There's nothing further from the truth.
Yeah.
I'm just pro-men. I'm pro-men to the point where I believe we should protect and provide for women. When I say things like, I don't let women drive me in cars, they think that's an insult to women. What I'm saying is, I'm so good at driving because it's something I've trained and studied and honed. I have 28 supercars. I do ice driving tracks. I drive tracks in reverse. I've done evasive driving. I've done militarized driving. I've fired guns from cars. Anyone's followed me for a long time has seen me doing shooting at targets as I drive. I've done all of it. I am so good at it that I don't want the girl to drive. I want to drive to make sure that she is safe. It's the opposite. I take responsibility. I'm a man who takes absolute responsibility for his situations and for his life. I'm super and utterly pro-men. The people who dislike me can't even say why they dislike me.
Because this is the thing. Most people, because God has given us a conscience, most people are genuinely good. If you allow all people to speak, you will realize that it's a very small, feral group of psychopaths who believe all these insane ideas which have been protected by these social media companies, which are now agents of the Matrix, of course. If you ask 100 people, do you think that brand should be promoting pedophilia? 99 are going to say no. There's the one that says yes, but
well, I think it's a sexual orientation.
Correct. But because of the insane censorship by the social media companies and controlling the information of the Matrix, they have made it pretend like it's a 50-50 argument. By cracking that, by allowing people to have different opinions, finally we can fight against the absolute degeneracy. This is an interesting time we're in because a year ago, the Satanists had absolute peak control over the information and over the thoughts of people. I believe that if Twitter was a free and open platform during COVID, that whole COVID scam would have ended in half the time.
Agreed.
Because people were not allowed to talk and tell the truth. You need to make money now in the hard times. This is how you build your chance to truly get enough velocity to escape the Matrix. But the reason people don't like trying to make money in the hard times is it's harder. There's less money around, recession is coming, inflation's here, people are holding on to their money, the whole economy is getting tighter, they're saying that property is going to tank, stocks are going to tank. We discuss all of this in the real world. We tell you exactly how it can benefit you. We tell you exactly how you should invest and how you can set yourselves up for the future. Now is the time to make as much money as possible. You do not have time to waste. If you make money now inside the real world and invest correctly, any one of you can be retired from ever working a Matrix job in 3 years from now, guaranteed. You must escape the work, consume, die cycle. You must escape the Matrix. We are trying to show you that. We obviously have our own platform now. We have the real world, something we've built completely outside of the Matrix. That's why I was talking earlier about why you cannot leave anything influential inside of the Matrix. Look at what happened with the football, with Qatar. Look at what happened with Facebook. Bro, I'll argue right now that Mark Zuckerberg didn't intend on being a dictator. He was a guy who made a website. But over time, the Matrix gets influence over you, gets leverage over you. Power corrupts. And before you know it, you're now a tool for the Matrix. So when you build something influential and important, like we have with HU, 175,000 people making money, you have to understand it has to be taken away from the Matrix or they're going to come and attack it. And that's what happened to us. They came to us. Obviously, they destroyed our payment process, destroyed the cancellation. Before that, they're trying to say what things we can teach, what things we can't teach. And there was really important lessons they wouldn't let us teach because we were looking at losing our servers. That's why we had to come and build everything ourselves. So anything that's inside the Matrix will be corrupted and eventually used against you. But this is the first time we're now starting to see previously Matrix-held platforms change sides. And as the pendulum swings back from darkness into light, it's going to be one of the most beautiful periods of human history. I can't wait for the legacy media and the Matrix and the mainstream enemies of humanity, the people who are no longer humanists, to try and purport another lie like the one they just tried to convince the world of for the last few years, now that we can speak freely. And you'll see the importance of free speech. You'll see that being able to speak freely and having different opinions is not simply about sitting around having a little argument with your friends. It's genuinely about the good of humanity as a whole.